To define my own girlhood would be to give it a new power. For so much of my life, I felt a lack of control, stability, safety, and love. I felt alone, let down, and fearful of what my future will become. To define my girlhood now would mean allowing myself the freedom and honesty to grow and change while maintaining compassion. Mistakes are necessary for growth, and it's all right to be clueless sometimes. I'm here to learn how to be myself and what it means to be my person. I asked myself recently, am I more of a girl or a woman now that I'm 18? I know I'm still a teenager, more specifically a teenage girl. That means a lot of different things to a lot of people. I feel completely clueless and unprepared and deeply terrified of what the future will look like for me and so many other girls and women. I feel a large sense of responsibility and urgency to know everything there is to know about everything that ever was, while somehow learning to take care of me. Some days make me feel like I've been alive since the beginning of time, and other days I feel like a toddler with long bones. I'm leaning into both childhood and adulthood, seeing where the two align, and I want to invite you all along. I understand the expectations placed before me as I dip my toes into the boiling pool of adulthood. I understood the expectations resting on my shoulders before I could reach a doorknob. They linger and find their way into my mind from the moment I wake. I am expected to not be opinionated, to not feel or show anger, to not be too curious, to not be too clueless, to not be smart enough to know when someone is calling me stupid, and to mirror the beliefs, judgments, and feelings of others instead of holding true to my own. These heavy weights cram themselves into my chest, but I've been teaching myself to be stronger than people want me to be. It's taken some work to figure out what strength means to me. I feel that I've had to be strong in a way no person should be. That to me is more reminiscent of strain and hurt. I find strength in my patience, my ability to sit in silence with myself, to continue doing the things that make me happy. I've given myself a list of quote-unquote expectations to live up to as I grow into this new age. To continue changing and unlearning negative behaviors, to build and maintain discipline within my pursuits, to always have my own back, and to be more compassionate. I honestly find it kind of difficult to reflect on the ways that I've grown. I feel like to try and say something in the moment is very wanting, but I also can't really sit and think of ways that I've grown. I just have this feeling that I have and that I will continue to. I just have this completely different feeling as a person than I have a lot in these recent years. I feel like it'd be easier to share an entry from my journal. This is from January 8th, 2025. Lots and lots and lots to write. A lot of clarity and vulnerability. I want to start by saying that I'm proud of myself. I am who I am through and through. I am not who others know me to be. I am who I am for me and by my lonesome. It has been so insanely hard, and I know things will always find a way to be difficult and obtuse, but I am someone who is so incredibly resilient and determined. I am too stubborn to believe this will be it for me. I actually will not finish this page. I did finish the page. I'm very proud of myself. I have a newfound clarity about who I am and who I hope to become, and a newfound confidence born from that. I still feel so much anger and confusion and fear, but I have never been one to let my feelings hold me back. I still have so much more growing and learning to do, but to not feel completely deterred from my future is a good thing, and that means something. I just need a clear starting point and to trust myself and to take care of all aspects of my art. I need to focus and not lose sight of the dream I have for myself. Along the way, I will burn bridges, I will lose people, and I will hear so many no's, but I will get everything I want. I still feel defeated and worried, but I also feel that this is a part of my path now. I trust myself to see this through, and I truly mean that now. It might just be time for a change of scenery. I just had a conversation that made me realize how people truly could not know you or your life better than yourself. All anyone can do is offer their own perspective or opinion. I've never felt like I absolutely cannot make mistakes. I've never felt like I deserve to bully myself or allow anyone else to bully me for my choices. I pride myself on being able to think and feel for myself whether people agree or not. Of course, I feel the very natural craving for validation, but I also know I will not die without it because above all else, my view of myself is the one I value most. I think it's important to make mistakes or at the very least be able to reflect and learn and know for myself what I can do differently in the future. It bothers me that people always feel the need to provide their insight, or like it's not alright for me to look back on my own and decide whether or not I'm okay with the choice I made. I don't feel like I need anyone's permission but my own to live the life I want to live, and to also allow myself to make the wrong choice every once in a while. I felt a lot of confusion on what it actually means to be a woman. I feel like I've had a lot of examples of it growing up with the women in my life, the women that I looked up to as far as music or other kinds of art. And there was always this push to be strong, to be independent, to be so entirely your own. And I think all of those things really stuck with me. I still truly believe in all of those things. I think it's a good thing to be strong and to be independent, to be able to do things on your own, and to, be entirely yours. And I just always really liked the idea of fully belonging to myself. And I'm not sure how to expand on that or what that really means. But I also realized that I know nothing about womanhood outside of how I have seen the adult women in my life navigate it. The women in my life are all strong and resilient, almost to the point of being stoic. There was this hesitation to feel emotions and put themselves first, and if they did or didn't, there was no balance of any kind. And it was actually very, very confusing for me. I feel like a lot of the things that I've learned, I really truly have had to teach myself, but the way that I taught myself to do certain things was to do the opposite of what I was taught. January 11th, 2025. I want a life of deep greens, vibrant blues and oranges, dusty pinks and sensual maroons. I want ceramic dishes made by my own hands, rugs that cover entire rooms, a vintage van paid in full cash, a self-painted mani-pedi every week, a collection of silk robes to lounge around in completely nude. I want a bedroom with warm lighting, one large window, warm wooden floors, a soft rug to drape my limbs, my tired, sore bones across. A kitchen to feed myself in, where I make myself soup and birthday cakes from scratch, and sip warm matcha in the mornings. I want a guitar of beautiful pink wood, a collection of music that I genuinely love, nothing I do not. I want to always carry the knowledge that the life I want is a life I can have, that patience is a virtue. Tears are the body's way of cleansing itself. To never forget to make all of this hurt worth something someday. To remember I only need to make myself proud, happy, healthy, safe, to love, travel, live well. Anything else is a bonus. To never stop learning. Maybe I'll drink wine every once in a while I paint or read, but I hope so intensely that my home will be a loving environment that only belongs to me. I am obviously much, much different from a girl I was when I was 8 years old, and nobody hesitates to make that clear. I feel like there are a lot of different opinions on, the little girl that I was, but I don't really have one for myself, if I'm honest. I feel kind of disconnected from my younger self. Like, I feel like I've always been as old as I am right now. I don't know how to make that make sense. Which is obviously not true. To be 18, I had to be many other ages. But, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of opinions on my younger self. I like to remember the things that I did as hobbies, but those hobbies were not personality traits, of course. But I can't really remember much of who I was outside of those hobbies that I had, because I feel like I invested a lot of time in them. And I grew up as an only child, so a lot of the fun that I did have in my solitude, in my room, which I value a lot, actually. I love being able to spend time by myself. I think it is one of the most important things that I will ever do, and I will continue to do it. Another way that I feel like I'm coming back to my younger self is in my creativity. I feel like children just create so unapologetically and so passionately, and then other factors of life start seeping into their creative process, and it dampens it, or it completely deflates it. I genuinely feel like creation is a part of my journey. It is absolutely necessary for my livelihood. But I do feel, and I feel like a lot of other creative people, just people in general, understand this, but like I feel a lack in my ability a lot of the time. I feel like maybe I don't deserve to express myself in a creative way, or maybe I'm just not fit for it. But I don't think that's true. It doesn't even make sense. It is a feeling, and like I said, feelings are valid, but I don't think a feeling could be valid but not necessarily correct. I am a creative person through and through, and it's not a matter of deserving to express myself creatively. I'm going to be creative regardless of the medium that I express it through, and that is always just going to be a part of me, period. But I feel very stuck a lot of the time and very confused, because like with anything that someone wants to do, you're gonna feel inadequate, or maybe not. Maybe you feel fully confident in your ability, and that is a beautiful thing, and I do too sometimes. Some days I wake up and I'm like, oh my god, I ate that shit up. Other days I'm just like, oh my god, I suck, this is terrible, I can't believe that I did this. But I also believe that every now and then you do need to take a pause, and you do need to just take some time to be a person, and then relearn how to be creative, or try to find a new way to be creative. But something that I'm definitely hoping to go forward with is creating passionately and creating obsessively, and being more intentional about it, and more confident in the vision that I have. Because something that I'm also aware of is that every single individual on the planet is unique. Every single person. Nobody can see exactly the way that you see. Of course, like, I feel like biologically speaking, like, there are probably people who look and act and think exactly like you, but I also, just for the sake of being motivational in this moment, I just feel like your vision, whatever that looks like, your vision of like business, your scientific vision, whatever, like especially your creative vision, like I feel like everybody has, different sides of all of that, different capabilities with all of that stuff, but it's so entirely your own, and nobody can like take it from you. Nobody can make it something that it's not. And something that I've been trying to revisit as far as getting back to what I feel is missing from 8 to 18 is just feeling. Like catching up on all of my emotions, I guess. I think that's so necessary. And little by little, I have been incorporating that into my life, and it's been beautiful, actually. I feel a lot lighter. I feel like I can make more sense of the feelings that I have, because I'm allowing them to, I'm holding space for them, I guess. And it feels good to do that. And I encourage you to feel your feelings, whatever they may be. I hope to become more calm and gentle in how I express myself. I can be so verbally and energetically abrasive. It's something I'm used to, but I am definitely tired of. It doesn't feel good to be angry, and it doesn't feel good to always be so defensive. I feel like regardless of feeling defensive in the moment, like it's not helpful to express yourself defensively unless you really truly need to defend yourself. Like it's not productive, it's not helpful, it doesn't do anything, not for me at least. I feel like I felt like I always have had to be defensive, and that's just kind of how I've always communicated, but it literally does nothing for me. It literally just makes me more mad, and it keeps me mad. And I don't think that I believe that anger is a healthy emotion. I think it's a completely rational thing to feel, for a lot of reasons. Again, context provided. I feel like the world is in like absolute fucking shambles at the moment, and a lot of people are as well. Anger is completely valid to feel, but I think, and I don't believe in policing emotions or telling people how to express how they feel or telling people how to feel, because what you feel is what you feel. But I believe in expressing yourself in a way that is helpful to you and productive to your situation. So now I ask the question, what does your girlhood mean to you? What weight do you carry from others? What do you want for you? Are there parts of yourself you want to get back to or grow into?